Well, in just a couple of days, people across Metro Detroit will be breaking out the green to celebrate St. Patrick's Day with tons of bar crawls and house parties likely. It's important to make sure that everyone is safe. And if you are hosting, it's important that you know what you can and cannot be held responsible for if someone gets hurt. This morning, we are joined by David Femminineo. He is going to be letting us know how to make sure we host our party safely, but also if the bars are held responsible.
Yeah, bars can be held responsible for over-serving their patrons on St. Patrick's Day. The standard that has to be proven in order to prove a case against a bar is that we have to prove that that person, that was the intoxicated person, was served while visibly intoxicated. It's a difficult standard to prove because sometimes the lawsuit is brought 6 months later and it's tough to get a bartender to admit, yes, I remember that person 6 months ago, or the waitress to say, I remember that person, and yes, they were served while visibly intoxicated. They'll never tell on themselves. So you rely upon other people, and you rely upon the blood alcohol content of the individual in order to prove your case against the bar.
Now, legally speaking, could you request security camera video? Because a lot of these places do have security camera videos. However, I doubt that the bar is going to willingly give it over.
Right. You have to send a notice letter out right away saying, please preserve the evidence. And if they fail to preserve the evidence, then you get a jury instruction later that says there's a possibility that they destroyed evidence. But so often what we find with bars is that it's old security cameras. It's an old bar, and maybe it's the same security camera that was there when smoking was allowed, so they're very fuzzy. So it's difficult to prove that standard against a bar.
Now, I think a lot of us are thinking drinking and driving, especially on this holiday, and holding bar owners accountable, but there's so much more, I would think, here too, as far as fights and maybe other even accidents.
Yes, and accidents are the key, is that it's not the intoxicated person who gets the protection, it's the person who the intoxicated person runs into. I get the call all the time from a person who says, I was so drunk at a bar, they just kept serving me, and I wrapped my car around a tree, and now I have a broken arm. And they want to bring a lawsuit. The law does not protect that. The law protects the person who the intoxicated person injures later on the way home. So you don't get that protection. You overserved me, and I hurt myself. It helps the person who gets innocently injured by an intoxicated person.
One more reason to monitor yourself and make sure you are not drinking too much on this holiday. It's always fun to enjoy a green beer, but don't overdo it.
Uber, Lyft, stay the night. For heaven's sakes, there's so many options these days. It's hard to find a reason why you would need to drink and drive this holiday season.
Now let's talk about house parties. Are people who host these house parties liable at all for anything?
It's called social host liability, and it depends on what happens. If there is a situation in which you are pouring the drinks and you overserve somebody, then there's a chance. Maybe you're making your drink so sweet that you could not taste the alcohol. Then there's an increased chance of liability on your part. Now, if you're serving people who are underage, you certainly can be held responsible for that because you're not at a bar, there's nobody checking IDs. If you're negligently serving somebody, if you fail to do what a reasonable person would do, i.e. make sure they're 21 and make sure they're not driving, then yes, you can be held responsible under what's known as social host liability, which may or may not be covered under your homeowner's policy.
As an attorney, what would you say is the number one thing this holiday season, St. Patrick's Day, that hits your desk as far as, is it car crashes? Is it minors at parties? What would you warn people the most about?
Sure, it's car crashes. It's always the nurse that's on her way to work, or the cafeteria worker who's on his way to work very early in the morning that gets innocently injured just going through a green light by somebody who's been drinking too much, who didn't get an Uber, who didn't get a Lyft, who didn't think about a buddy system prior to drinking it that night.
So what should people do if they are on the negative end of that?
If they are on a negative end of that, you should contact me so we can bring a lawsuit and potentially investigate against the bar or whoever it was that was serving the alcohol, because we have certain time constraints to give notice to the bar under Michigan law.
And how can people contact you?
You can get me anytime at the office at 855-65-CRASH, and my website anytime at getdavidgetpaid.com.
And is the initial first meeting, what would that look like?
Always free. We'll talk to you, tell you whether or not you have a case, and then we never, of course, charge a fee unless we recover for you. And it's strictly on a contingent basis.
Well, David, thank you so much for being here. If anything, it serves as a great reminder and warning for people to take it easy this holiday.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.